this right here, you bunch of prima donna ballerina mother.
Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom and you're watching Euro Football Weekly. We're about a month left of waiting until the new football season commences, but clubs eager to improve their last season's performance are rallying around trying to improve their lineup. Some big names are switching sides. What does that mean for their new clubs and their chances to win their respective titles? Well, joining us now is football personality Lee Phelps from In Play Radio to tell us what he thinks of some of the deals that is happening right now. Lee, thank you for being here.
No problem. Looking forward to it.
Now let's begin with La Liga, and we have to start with possibly the main deal, which has gone through for a cool £75 million, the third largest in football history, behind Gareth Bale and Ronaldo, to Spanish team Barcelona. He's currently serving a 4-month ban for biting, which won't be lifted until the end of October. Now on the plus side, he earned top goal scorer across the major leagues with 31 goals and 12 assists. He now joins Neymar and Messi, giving Barcelona potentially one of the best attacking forces in the world. What does this mean in terms of them winning La Liga, the Copa del Rey, or even the Champions League?
I mean, just when you're listening to it there, Natalie, I'm like thinking, wow, Neymar, Messi, Suarez, they're all very individualistic, aren't they? I know Messi plays for the team, and I know Suarez plays for the team. And when you look at Neymar behind the scenes, you know, he's a team player as well. But can they knit together? That's a big question mark. Surely world-class players like them can. But it's interesting. I think they need something behind that as well. You know, if all three might not always play. I know, you know, Juan Cuadrado, from the Colombian player who I think got most assists at the World Cup. That would be, you know, a massive addition to Barcelona. 40 million euros they're talking from Fiorentina. Now, if they were to sign him, that, you know, that suddenly, you know, there's some ammunition there for that front line as well, because whichever one of those three has to drop back might not be that keen on dropping back. The other thing I think, when you look at this Barcelona setup, they've lost some key players, obviously, haven't they? You know, they've lost the goalkeeper, who's been there forever. You know, how big a deal is that going to be for Barcelona? It's all right filling the front row with absolute quality and world-class players. What about the back? You know, I think they're just going to go out and try and score more than everyone else. You know, Valdez is gone. They brought in Stegen, the German keeper, who's, you know, he's been German goalkeeper right through all the youth levels of German football. And we've seen what, you know, the German youth level produces this summer. So maybe, you know, maybe he is an able replacement. But I'm going to be interested to see what it's like behind them. There are rumours that, you know, some of those fantastic midfielders are maybe going over the hill as well. I just think it'll end up being about Suarez, Messi and Neymar so much as what's behind, what's in the midfield and what's at the back.
Right. Well, Barcelona are trailing Real Madrid here in La Liga. 2.15 to win La Liga, 2.5 to win El Clasico, and 7 to win Champions League. Are there any of those bets which you'd lean towards?
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I like Real Madrid. You know, I think they had this break, this season they had last year, La Decima season, which was unbelievable for them. You know, Gareth Bale had an unbelievable. We've almost forgotten about Gareth Bale. He had an unbelievable season, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he performed better than any previous Galactico has ever performed on debut season. I mean, think of the names you're talking about there. He scored goals in the biggest games. Now he's got the next season. That was his settling in season. What's he going to do in his next season? Yeah. We've still got Cristiano Ronaldo. We don't know about the knee. We don't know how that injury is going to bear up. But, you know, Toni Kroos has just signed. I mean, this guy was one of the best players at the World Cup. You know, it's going to be really interesting to see what Real Madrid do, who else they can bring in before the close of the window. They don't need to bring that many more in, by the way, but they've still got a bit of manoeuvring to do and a bit of buying and selling to do, I think. And I think they're going to be really hard to stop because they've got momentum. All right, they won the Champions League. They'll want to wrestle back La Liga now from Atletico because that was a shock to everyone, let's be honest. So I think my money would be on Real Madrid. I mean, you know, I'm not telling anyone anything that they don't know, but of the three, you know, I'd be going with Real Madrid this year. I think they'll want to, you know, regain La Liga now that they've got the Champions League, the La Decima, and I think they've got the players to do it.
All right. Well, just keeping on the topic of Barcelona right now, also on their list is Borussia Dortmund star midfielder Marco Reus with a starting bid of 35 million euros. But the question is will Dortmund be tempted to sell him? And what sort of an addition will he make to the team?
well, fantastic addition. Now, we've seen that they aren't afraid to sell their best players, are they? They've had to do it in the past. But at some point, Borussia Dortmund have got to keep hold of some players and make this into some sort of dynasty, because otherwise they're going to find themselves getting these great players and then suddenly losing them. We've seen it time and time again, haven't we, with their players? So I think, I wonder if they'll try and dig their heels in a little bit here, and they'll try and keep it. Let's not forget, now that Germany have won the World Cup, it's a great place to play your football. Maybe players were wanting to go to Spain because Spain was they were the darlings of the world and European football, of course, at a national level. Now suddenly Spain, maybe the gloss has gone off it slightly. Still getting the best players in the world, but I'm not so sure that he will go. And I wonder if Borussia Dortmund are going to really try and keep some of their talent this time and try and add to it as well, of course.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Juan Cuadrado, and I know that Barcelona they've got their eye on him, keen to replace Dani Alves. The player is co-owned by Serie A rivals Fiorentina and Udinese, and they're currently starting their offer at 20 million euros for a full stake in Cuadrado. Can you see them reaching an agreement? And obviously this will be an amazing move for the Catalans here.
Yeah, I can see that one going through. I can obviously see the why he would be absolutely delighted to link up there, and I think he would be such a great addition. I think it will be done. Interesting to see they're also after Marquinhos, the defender from PSG, with David Luiz going there, and there's a bit of talk about PSG maybe being in for Di Maria. Now they maybe could do a little bit of a deal there and make a little bit of a make-weight for Marquinhos to come in and bolster the back line. I've also heard that they might be in for Jan Vertonghen as well, which, that would be a bit of a surprise to me. But I could see the Marquinhos deal going through with maybe PSG not needing him anymore.
Now moving over to Real Madrid, who have reportedly offered Costa Rican goalie Keylor Navas 10 million euros to match his release clause from Levante. The highly related player played a big part in getting Costa Rica to the quarter-finals and is rumoured to be replacing Diego Lopez. Los Blancos have already agreed to sign Toni Kroos from Bayern Munich and are believed to be closing in on Colombian star James Rodriguez as well. All of this suggests that the bookmakers are right in putting Real Madrid as their favourites to win La Liga and joint favourites to win the Champions League. What are your thoughts here, the league? And is this the year of Los Blancos?
I'm not sure they retain the Champions League. It's just such a hard thing to do. I think, I really like them to win La Liga, as I said, and I think they'll go far in the Copa del Rey as well. They've got such a rich squad they can pick from. They can have virtually a different team for the Copa del Rey right up until the final if they wanted to. James Rodriguez is the one, isn't he? I mean, he should have won the Golden Ball trophy at the World Cup. Messi is a fantastic player, but realistically, he didn't do enough to deserve that. James Rodriguez lit the World Cup up. Shame he went out so early in the quarterfinals. I can understand maybe that's why he didn't win it. But this guy, he's got everything. He stated quite openly in the World Cup that Real Madrid was the team he wanted to go to. So I think that deal will go through. Toni Kroos, excellent signing. Real Madrid don't have to add that many, Natalie, do they? Really, no. Look at the team. Look at the squad. The keeper, great, yeah. Kroos, Rodriguez, I'll do. A few extra little signings here and there, and they're ready to go. They won the Champions League. They don't need to improve too much on that squad, and I think they'll go, hell for bent to win La Liga this coming season. Yeah,
very true indeed. Well, over at Atletico Madrid, Diego Costa has reportedly moved to Chelsea for the sum of $32 million, but they have signed the likes of Mario Mandzukic from Bayern Munich. Atletico Madrid won La Liga last year above Barcelona and Real Madrid. The question is are they doing enough to be a serious contender for La Liga title this year? They're priced at a relatively long 15 with Bet365, which could be an indicator that maybe not.
Yeah, very difficult, isn't it, to break that? Fantastic that they've broken that dominance. 2003, 2004 was the last time either Barcelona or Real Madrid didn't win La Liga. Valencia won it. Next season, finished 7th. I'm not saying Atletico Madrid are going to do that, but suddenly there's, a bit like Liverpool, suddenly there's more pressure on you. There's more competitions, there's more to play in. Time will tell whether Mandzukic is an able replacement for Costa. Costa got 36 in 51 last season. Mandzukic got 26 in 48. So 10 goals fewer in 3 games fewer. Different divisions, of course, and different countries. But Mandzukic, probably more of a poacher than, Costa's probably got a bit more about his game. So that'll be interesting to see. They've got a fantastic setup there, and I think they're doing very well. But I always got the feeling that they were just on the edge almost. They did brilliantly last year, but always just on the edge. The big one, of of course, as well is the keeper, Courtois, going back to Chelsea. You know, I mean, that'll be a huge miss. He was one of the stars of the team. They brought in Jan Oblak, who we don't know again if he'll be as good as Courtois. You know, he's an international player, and he looks the part. You know, he's an Eastern European big, tall keeper, and we've seen lots of those recently in Europe who've done very, very well. So hopefully he will be an able replacement, but I don't think they'll do what they did last year. Maybe third place is the best they can hope for this time.
Yeah, okay. Now, before we wrap things up here, Lee, what other signings in La Liga which have been confirmed or are in the process could help take the team to a different level?
Well, I mean, I think the Rodriguez one is the absolute clincher. I'm going to be interested to see what Bilbao do. I mean, you look at they lost Herrera for 30-odd million euros. Now, they need to replace him, because I was looking at Bilbao as being maybe a team who could... They've got a really good Copa del Rey record, Bilbao. I mean, you know, it's very hard to interrupt the Real Madrid or the Madrid-Barcelona kind of, you know, dominance of that competition. But I'm really keeping a close eye on Bilbao. I had a few rumours about maybe players they'll bring in, but I might look at them as an outside bet to get to the final of the Copa del Rey. Winning it is another thing, but Bilbao to have a good season again. You know, I know they're a way off the top three, but they're the next best. And if they can spend that money wisely, I wonder if they can get a little bit closer to Atletico Madrid in third, if they do finish third, and maybe get to the final of the Copa del Rey. So they're my kind of like outside shout if there is such a thing in La Liga.
All right then, Lee Phelps, thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot.